Hello dear friends. More and more ancient technology is being appreciated every day as more discoveries come to light, which means that our ancestors were much smarter than we thought. Building ancient civilization is a childish sign of immaturity. Opinion piece. Archimedes mirrors recreated. Uzbekistan harness solar energy, concentrating solar radiation like a laser beam. France's possible exit from the European Union predicted. In quotes, the EU has not protected France from any crisis. Transhumanism seeks life based on silicon. They talk about a war on coal, but we are all carbon. Tanzanian president dies of heart failure at age 61. Let's start. Archimedes created a set of concave mirrors with an adjustable focal length to focus sunlight on the ships of the Roman fleet attempting to invade the Greek city of Syracuse by setting them on fire. The concave mirror system reflected the sunlight by concentrating it on the enemy ships in order to set fire to the Roman ships of Commander Marcellus' fleet attacking Sicily. An Ustorio mirror is a large concave mirror used to concentrate on its focus the sun's rays or those of a burning body and to take advantage of the great heat produced for war purposes. It is also called Ustorio mirror to the set of mirrors concentrating the sunlight in the tower of a solar thermal power plant. Uzbekistan. Researchers at the Uzbekistan Research and Production Association, led by engineer Shermagamat Payiziyev, have proposed a more scientifically sound method in which parabolic mirrors are used to combat and harness solar energy by transforming it into laser beams. Like giant small-scale reflecting telescopes, this proposes ceramic material lasers are capable of converting an impressive 35% of the sun's energy into a laser beam, providing a considerable increase over the peak power produced by current-pumped solar laser systems, which barely achieve 2% conversion efficiency. According to the Uzbek engineers, these new solar lasers consist of 1 meter diameter parabolic mirror that has a focal point approximately 2.3 centimeters in diameter. The concentrated light passes through a two-layer ceramic disc of neodymium, tritium and aluminium oxide crystals, materials that are currently used in the field of ophthalmic lasers. One side of the disc has a highly reflective coating, while the other side would be anti-reflective. When sunlight penetrates throughout the ceramic materials, electrons in the material are excited, causing them to emit laser light of a specific wavelength. Analysis of the results showed that the total output power of the laser radiation from the disk can be up to 250 kilowatts. The control of the immense temperature produced by the concentrated sunlight, a heatsink is mounted on the ceramic disc through which cooling water is pumped. The laser light then travels to a target and is reflected back to the ceramic surface before exiting the solar collector at an oblique angle. With this double pass comes the impressive gain in efficiency, which allows a larger fraction of the sun's light to be converted into laser light. While there is still a long way to go before this laser can destroy sea or flying ships, there is the possibility of one day using the system to counterattack the energy supply problems and environmental concerns facing our planet. It could even be used to power solar-powered spacecraft by laser propulsion. Exit from France. The idea of leaving the European Union is gaining momentum in France, writes Laurent Herblay in the French daily Le Figaro, because of Brexit and the health crisis that have once again highlighted the deep dysfunctions of the European Union and the cuts made over the years in public health care. A large part of pharmaceutical production now takes place in Asia, with up to 80% of active ingredients produced outside the European continent. Year after year, the European Union recommends reducing public spending and improving the competitiveness of its member states by further reducing the price of labor. This means having fewer beds and paying healthcare workers as little as possible. According to Herblay, the European Union could have protected or helped members to react better to this crisis, but its response has been disastrous from every point of view, in his opinion. With the European Union so slow and bad in its negotiations, a growing number of European countries are beginning to bypass it and get supplies from Russia or China, the analyst observes, in quotes, "If there has never been a majority of French people who want to leave the Euro or the European Union, these last few months have brought water to the mill of those who want to do so, because of their harmfulness." For Herblay, the French soil is probably fertile for the idea of Brexit. Leaving the European Union is now feasible, as the Brexit showed. Better still, it doesn't seem so penalizing. The journalist stresses that the European Union has not protected France from any financial, economic or health crisis, hasn't allowed to build anything, the European continent being a mere market for US multinationals or China. In quotes, "The European Union has never allowed us to wait more. The United States continues to impose its will, fining our companies or withdrawing from the nuclear agreement with Iran as it pleases. The European Union is just an additional and inadequate bureaucracy that paralyzes and distracts us without even helping us," he argues. The author admits that many still think that leaving the European Union is a radioactive idea, but a well-thought-out campaign could incline the majority of French people to a frank and immediate break with this totally dysfunctional structure, said the journalist. Transhumanism. Update on the situation according to Mike Adams. The globalists believe in transhumanism and think they are going to make the transition from carbon-based life to silicon-based life by uploading their consciousness into machines. Once they are in the machines, they believe they will have infinite power, immortality, and the ability to expand and conquer the entire universe. In essence, they believe they will become gods. But it requires immense resources to build their huge fleet of space exploration ships, Terminator robots, and silicon-based domination system for Earth and other planets. Those resources, water, mineral, land, energy, etc., are currently being consumed by the billions of humans that inhabit the planet. That is why the globalist needs to reduce the population in order to free up resources for their new Silicon Kingdom, which they plan to dominate and weaponize to literally conquer the entire galaxy. humankind stands in their way of achieving their goals. They also believe that humankind has served its purpose by giving rise to artificial intelligence and highly advanced silicon-based life forms. Therefore, the human species is now expendable in their view. This is precisely what they say they are waging a war on carbon, because all humans are made of carbon and seek immortality through silicon. Short news. Putin wishes Biden health after he calls him a murderer. I repeat, Putin wishes Biden health after he calls him a murderer. In response to recent statement by the American leader, Putin said that everyone sees another person as sees himself. As far as the statement, in quotes all this, as far as the statement of my American counterpart is concerned, indeed we know each other in person. What would I answer him? I would say, be well. I wish him health, Vladimir Putin said Thursday, referring to Joe Biden's recent interview with ABC News. The Russian president specified that these words are not meant in an ironic or humorous sense. 21 states sue the White House. A coalition of states has filed lawsuits against the president's administration over the president's decision to revoke the permit for the Keystone XL pipeline. Euthanasia will be legal in Spain in 3 months. The Spanish Congress of Deputies approved Thursday the regularization of euthanasia. The law will come into force in 3 months. Then adults suffering from a serious chronic and incurable disease that causes them intolerable suffering will be allowed to have access to aid in dying, and this benefit will be financed by the state. The European Central Bank has allotted 425 Eurozone banks a total of 330,501 million euros of long-term liquidity, of 50,414 million in the previous similar auction, which has greatly increased the demand from banks, which are trying to make the most of the good conditions offered by the institution. Queen Sofia is filled with amulets after her inauguration. Adorned with several necklaces and bracelets, most of the jewelry she wore were amulets. Although it is well known that Doña Sofia is a faithful believer in the power of Greek eye, a symbol that she always wears in the form of bracelets and is used to ward off the evil eye and bad energies, these days she seems to have decided to keep herself protected with several talismans. The Queen also relies on other types of amulets to attract good luck. A medallion representing a traditional four-leaf clover, and 2 pieces of jewelry featuring 8 pointed stars add to Doña Sofia's attachment to protect herself from bad omens. The Telegraph highlights the value of Galicia. The British newspaper The Telegraph has devoted an extensive report to publicize Galicia to its readers, a region it describes as spectacular, despite the fact that the British have not discovered it. To draw a similarity, the paper says it resembles Cornwall, but with a better climate and food, better weather. It says people live well there, but they don't need to show about it, and perhaps that's one of the reasons why relatively few British come there, despite it being a popular vacation destination for Spaniards. Tanzanian president dies of heart failure at 61. Tanzanian President John Magufuli has died bizarrely at the age of 61 for heart disease. The African country's vice president, Samia Suluhu, said in a televised message to the nation. Hong Kong justifies tying minors to beds during quarantine. Hong Kong authorities have approved tying infants in isolation to beds in some cases, despite criticism of the possible psychological consequences of the measures expressed by netizens on social networks on Thursday. Scientists discover extraterrestrial microorganisms in the International Space Station. A new study published in the scientific journal Frontiers shows that American and Indian researchers working with NASA have discovered 4 strains of bacteria living in different parts of the space station, hitherto completely unknown to science. Powerful stratospheric winds on Jupiter measured for the first time. Using the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array called ALMA, astronomers have for the first time directly measured the winds in Jupiter's middle atmosphere. It is a revolutionary interferometer comprising an array of 7 and 12-meter diameter antennas designed to sub-millimeter and sub-millimeter wavelengths. Cosmic Web. Scientists at the European Southern Observatory in Chile were able to observe filaments of the cosmic web for the first time, revealing a large number of what they call hidden dwarf galaxies. Astrophysicists warn of cannibalistic aliens. Jacob van Loon, astrophysicist and the director of the Kiel Earth and Space Observatory on the campus of Kiel University, England, has warned that an advanced species of extraterrestrials could easily see humans as a threat and wipe us out accordingly. And that's all for today. I wish you a good day. Thanks a lot, dear friends.